In the news this week, President Muhammadu Buhari reveals how recovered Abacha loot will be spent. Nigerian reaps dividends of crowdfunding to escape shithole. Government orders reduction in bride price.
Wait, I didn't say it yet, man.
And now, it's the other news.
And here's your host, Okay Bakassi.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of The Other News, the show that makes the news jealous with all our ginger and swagger. My guest today is an entertainment entrepreneur with decades of experience in the Nigerian entertainment industry. Join me in welcoming Mr. Ayo Animashaun. Please, a round of applause. Right. Later on in the show, our special correspondent, D Humorous, brings us a report on the newest game in town. But first, here are some of the news that made headlines this week. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has said to President Muhammadu Buhari that Mr. President is not the only corruption-free Nigerian. Mr. Dogara says that there are corruption-free Nigerians spread all over the globe. Mr. Speaker, this one you're going far and wide. Are there corruption-free Nigerians in the House of Reps? Anyway, Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora has warned parents against substandard schools in Benin Republic. Yes, substandard schools in Nigeria are safe for students to attend. Be patriotic. Be patriotic. Thank you. Anyway, following the visit of 10 directors of the World Bank to Nigeria, the World Bank has expressed excitement at Nigeria's growth. Banks, whether World Bank or Central Bank or even local banks, they are like promiscuous men with women. I am happy to see you are growing in all the right places. Come on, World Bank, will you stop looking at Nigeria like that? And in more entertainment news, Nigerian musical artist Skills walked out of an interview after receiving criticism on some of his songs. I just wish it were that easy to get rid of some Nigerian politicians. Well, but forget that one. After all, you can only provoke people that have a passion for their work. Yeah. When pesetas make the news, it is not really news. I mean, like Lagos flooding in the rainy season, that's a normal thing. Doing the unusual, whether controversial or not, whether right or not, is the reason people like this are always in the news. This explains why a man of many firsts, like Kaduna State Governor Rufai, is almost always in the news. As the Minister of FCT, he was the first ever to go on a demolition spree, clearing illegal houses left, right, and center in the Federal Capital Territory. Controversial, yes, but pace-setting, nonetheless. As Kaduna State Governor, he was the first to sack 22,000 incompetent teachers in his state. Controversial, still yes, but pace-setting, nonetheless. Also, as Kaduna State Governor, he was the first to cast curses on the senators of his state. Controversial? You still ask? Well, recently, however, Governor Rufai has been in the news for another first, surprisingly, without the usual controversy.
Kaduna State is set to make history as the first election in Nigeria to use electronic voting in the LG.
History has been made. Well, history in Nigeria, Sha, because some people like Brazil don't do this waka since 1996. But let's give Governor Rufai a pat on the back for this. with this development, even the governor's enemies and haters will have to do a toilessa for him. Yeah. So how did it all go?
So far, from the results that we've had across the state, the polling has been peaceful, has been easy for the voters, and everyone from the observers to the voters to the presiding officers, everyone has expressed happiness with the way the process has gone out the machine.
Wonderful news. So that means we can stop all this manual stressing. Unless people want to be like this guy.
No! Oh my gosh!
And try damaging expensive technology. Well, 2019, here we come with voting ginger.
I'm not sure there is enough time to prepare and do it in 2019. The legal framework to facilitate that is already in place.
Well, at least with the legal framework, we can have a dream that one day electronic voting will be a reality in Nigeria. The question now is, what kind of electronic voting future will we be dreaming about? Will it be the electronic ballot box style of Brazil? Or will it be the type of e-voting done in Estonia? AKA, I can't come and keep myself voting, where the voters can vote online from any location with their own version of PVC. If we adopt this type, the color of that card will have to be red, so it can be useful before, in this way. And then during voting. But then again, there's the type of e-voting that has thrived in Nigeria for a while now. The e-voting system that had Nigerian politics acknowledging its efficacy through official documents addressed to the public. Yes, the tweets. 30 million votes is no joke. Bye-bye to voter apathy. Well, all this one, now for Dreamland, back to reality, where so far only Kaduna State has experienced the progressive phenomenon. When the rest of Nigeria wakes up and joins in on the reality, well, we might not be voting Big Brother style, but at least it could be a step further in the right direction for the nation as a whole. Well done to Governor of Kaduna State, Center of Learning, for this practical lecture on the possibilities of e-voting. We have a lot to think, dream about. Yes. All right, my guest today has contributed his fair share in keeping the entertainment industry very, very alive. If you describe my guest as a media mogul, you will not be wrong. He's one of the brains behind the Headies Award and the CEO of Hip Hop World Magazine and Hip TV. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Animashaun. Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm excited to have you here. Is there an awards culture in Nigeria? And if the answer is yes, does the awards that we hand out reflect the realities of today's music and entertainment industry in general? Because I know that in some places, there's bongo music, for example, which is some dominant kind of music played in the Southeast, but I've never seen the bongo music category in any music awards.
Okay, I'll start this way.
Okay.
We are beginning to build, proper award culture and structure.
Yeah.
Before now, we didn't have, and would need some time for our audience, and the people are there to,
To adjust.
To adjust and get mature with what they need to expect, to understand how it goes and everything. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
and before you get there, you have to really be patient and continue to educate and educate
things.
Now,
do you have any kind of, as a CEO, do you have any kind of direct influence on who gets this award?
I would say this, yes and no. And I'll explain what I mean by yes. Yes, because when people actually come to meet us and say, God.
Yes, like if I want my guy to at least win one.
I'll beg you to go and vote. So that's the influence I have. Or talk to you, guy, go vote.
Okay, so your influence is just to advise us to
Yes, go and
mobilize
vote.
That's not influence now.
I mean, you know better.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, over the years, they've come. And this is 12 years. Nigerians, our lips are not that sealed. If one guy, in all the years, has gotten awards based on influence or, backdoor and everything, would have come out to say that don't buy them.
Okay.
So my influence is, when you come to meet me, I'll tell you the reality, go and vote.
Go and vote.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are just beginning this interview, so don't even go anywhere. It's about to get more exciting, so keep watching. It's the other news. Welcome back. It's the other news, and I'm having a very interesting chat with Mr. Animashaun of Hip TV. Just in case you're just joining us, Ayo, you once said that the Grammys is not for Nigerians. What do you mean when you say the Grammys is not?
You see, we don't. Grass is greener where you wet it, not always on the other side.
Yeah.
We don't always
Word.
believe in ourselves and what we do. We always, I don't understand. We always, it's okay to aspire to win the Grammys. But then, if you've been to the Grammys before, like I've been many times, and other awards, you will know that their concentration is their own industry. It's their own industry, not us.
Yeah, the Grammy Awards is not for you. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
They tried to bring in a bit
and-
of diversity
Yeah,
and expand the market audience by bringing in one or two. That
Yeah,
is how,
just
that's
like
how
we
I
do
see
at
it.
the Headies. Out of like 25 categories, we have one for Africa. It doesn't mean that there was for the entire continent. Nigeria's music, basically, like largely Nigerian music.
As a key player in the industry, how would you rate the overall, social stroke economic impact of the music industry on the country?
Music is actually very, very strong now, and artists are really doing very well. They've taken over not only Nigeria, not only Africa, around the world. You go to some obscure places that you would not believe you listen to some of our music, and that's what they listen to. True. And I'm not saying Africa. Africa is taken for granted.
Sometimes you go to the mall in the US,
yes,
they are playing African music, especially Nigerian
music. Nigerian music is African music now. And I'm not saying Africa. Africa now, we've dominated, and we didn't just start. We dominated like 15, 20 years ago. Now, the rest of the world, we are actually really dominating.
But there's also this debate on social media. People seem to think that the music industry kind of glorifies fraud and some social vices. That some musical videos are, glorified soft porn with a lot of nudity and all those kind of things. What's your take on it?
Not only even porns, also drugs and all sorts and all sorts of behaviors, attitudes and funny. You'll find this in every society.
How do we correct this?
We have a responsibility to not even. We always push everything to NBC. We, as an organization, have decided not to reward such music. I.e., you're not going to get a nomination.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, sometimes, thank you. Some artists get funny. They rehearse and they get on stage and they perform one crazy song that was not even meant to be performed. And we have ways of dealing with, such. We do not want to reward that. You don't want to come to our platform to perform such songs and everything. We always have to, have a standpoint, and know what we're all about. So I think it's just what we need to do to continue to correct this. And people are going to speak who they are, what they think, where they live, and there's no way you can stop that. But you can also discourage it by either buying, listening, playing, and even rewarding.
True.
And even rewarding. So that's the role we need to play about that.
Ayo, you have good one. From the days of humble beginning, from the days of trying to push Hip Hop World magazine, I know how it was.
I can tell your story too.
Yeah, you can tell my story. I can tell a bit of yours. But I'm not going to go deep into that. But I know that you have put in so much investment, into, the things, into the entertainment industry. What personal convictions drive your efforts? Because seeing the kind of things that you put into this thing, and not like you're not a musician, I know you're a stakeholder in the business. What motivates Ayo? What's the push that Ayo gets to do these things?
You see, sometimes I just go too far, and I ask myself the same question. You have to believe in it, to do it. Something has to drive you beyond just, what you see or Naira and Kobo. It's a journey. And journey, if you're here for the long haul, you've got to know that it's not just about Naira and Kobo now. You've got to work hard. You've got to persevere. Sometimes it's going to be very difficult. Sometimes you're going to spend your own money to make this work, but you've got to keep on doing it.
Okay. Our country is going through a whole lot. Yeah. And everybody seems to agree that we need social re-engineering. Yeah. Do you think the entertainment industry can help change this country?
Sure. Obviously not everybody in the entertainment industry, but like
not everybody.
Not everybody. Not the guys that are singing
those kind of songs. Yeah. They cannot help anybody.
But there are guys in the entertainment industry that can actually really come out and help. The first thing I would say is that the entertainers have a responsibility, because they have strong followers and everything. They have a responsibility not to collect, to do the right thing and to tell the people the truth, and to stand for the truth. Now, if, for example, a governor calls me and I know that I don't believe in his manifesto and everything, but just because it gives me a certain amount of money, I support him. It's the same thing that we are telling those guys that collect bags of rice, not to do. You understand? So some of them should.
Now you're talking about endorsing politicians.
Yes.
It's a different thing endorsing politicians and entertaining politicians.
Yes.
Because entertainment is your trade.
Yes.
And you sell to whoever wants to buy.
Yeah, of course.
But when it comes to endorsement, that's exactly what you're talking about. Okay, so that we get it clear because of this.
When you endorse politicians, know why you do so. That's one. Number two, some guys in entertainment are brilliant, they are strong, they can go for political offices and run and, just change things.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a space for
there
us
are people
there.
in entertainment who are educated enough, smart enough to run public offices.
Yes, they are there.
And we are also seeing some politicians with skills now to play a role in the entertainment industry. Some of them are singing now, some are dancing. You understand? And since they are beginning to make move towards our own sector, don't you think that the entertainers should now take over to their own side now and do politics? Now, having said that, Ayo, is there politics in your future? Because, young man, you've been there, done that. Grown at a whole industry, contributed your fair share. Next move is to begin to use some of your platform to begin to bring change politically.
No, that's not the plan for me. We can't all go through, that door. Some of us, yes, but not all of us. Some of us...
What of you?
Me, no.
Why?
No, because...
Why? You were probably Obama's age mate or younger when he became president.
I know. That's actually true. By the way, I'm a big fan of that guy.
And Trump is sitting there now. Trump is sitting there. He was in all these things, media.
Those guys were never in show business.
Trump was into pageantry and TV reality shows.
That's true, though, but more in properties than anything.
Yeah, more in property, Properties was his main cash cow.
For me, no, because I'm so convinced about what I do, and there's so much to be done in this area. All of us can be there.
You don't want to touch
There's so much to be done.
You just want to restrict your political involvement.
People like you can go. We will encourage others to, to get involved. Make sure you register and vote for your candidate of choice. And know why you do so.
So you're going to be in support of Okebaka, #Okebakasi president.
All the way.
2019.
All the way.
I put you as my running mate.
No, don't do that. We support you all the way. Let some of us remain here so that as you are becoming governor, you'll be watching our channel, and some people will be entertained.
You say your channel, watching TV. You've done a good job, man. You deserve a mention. Thank you very much, Ayo. Thanks. Thanks for everything you've done. Nice having you. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, guys.
Right. Awesome interview with Ayo. All right, senior correspondent Dan the Humorous is right around the corner with in-depth analysis of a game he's been studying. It's the other news. Welcome back. It's the other news. There has been a game that has been going on in this country. To bring us up to speed on this matter, here is our senior special correspondent, Dan the Humorous. Take it away, Dan.
Every 4 years in the land of Nigeria, a game is held to determine who emerges superior. Will it be the house of the brooms, or the house of the umbrellas, or some other small houses? To provide us with our next Lion King, leader. The land is a chessboard, and the game is like the game of chess. If you don't know the rules, you will be what Chigel calls a hanging shimmy, a.k.a. a hot mess. The Broom King intended to go to the battle with only the best, so he picked up a mic and called for a Broom Congress. House Broom members trembled at the king's decree. But to battle in 2019, they said, Oga, pick me. So, to be worthy of the king's selection, they organized the Broom Ward election. Now, the characters in this Congress indeed are like the game of chess. First, you have the pawns. Some players like to cheat, so they involve political bandits to do their bit, leaving their enemies shocked and trembling on their feet such that they cannot understand it. I give you Imo, Rivers, and Bauchi. And then we have the knights. Oh yes, there was fright when there was a fight, but the knight escaped unharmed as he was whisked away out of sight with his horse. I give you Anambra. Oh, disenfranchised they were because there were no forms. Holding their heads, they asked, how come? If you play the game by the rules and you lose because of your straight movements, you will be nothing but a rook. I give you Kaduna and Enugu. And oh, of course, you have the bishop. Diagonally, he moved in search of his result sheet. Not finding his result sheet, leaving his state, he came back to report to the king after sensing defeat. Again, I give you Imo, the home of statues. And oh yes, you have the cabals, the king and the queen. Nobody knows yet the heart of the cabal until Congress goes national. Now, let us use our kidney for a second. The subjects behind, at the center of all of these, the rooks, the bishops, the knights, are either state party leaders, sitting governors, or governorship aspirants. Because it is believed that once you can grab the soul of the grassroots, your political structure will be singing Davido. Assurance, assurance, no be lifetime insurance. So it goes without question to say that the lifeblood of any political structure lies in the grassroots. Which makes us to begin to really use our kidney to say, if we must change things in this country, enough of staying in our urban settlements, on top of our smartphones with internet, shouting on WhatsApp groups, hashtagging on Instagram and Twitter, make we begin to go village. Because that is where all these builds from. That is the foundation of everything. Dear youth, we have ignored this foundation for too long. Let us go back to our wards and local government and start building this thing from the ground up. Like Yogoti said, he goes down in the DM. He go down in the DM. But when it comes to election, political matter, he goes down in the village. He go down in the village. Okay, Bakassi, back to you.
That's correct. That's correct. Use your kidneys, Nigerians. Use it. And that's the end of our show this week. It's been my pleasure and privilege to bring you this show this week. You can view this and many more episodes of the show on our social media platforms. Our handles remain The Other News CTV across all platforms. To be part of our live studio audience, call the numbers on your screen. I can't wait to see you. You guys know I love to see you guys. My village people say, person wey get sense need advice. Person wey no get sense no go take advice. Which one are you? My name is OK. Thank you. All right.